Arnold or Siva?
Arnold.
Fish or chicken?
Chicken.
Leg day or chest day?
Chest.
Off season or on season?
Off season.
Training in the morning or at night?
Morning.
Protein or protein?
Protein.
Swig some vodka just to get myself up. Go downstairs, make breakfast, and just let me have another sip.
With the explosion, tweeting, congrats.
Mana ada orang yang kamu sayang ketika kamu akan gagal? Saya pasti dia akan menang.
How come someone that facing so much of difficulties in their life managed to change their life into something else, but at the same time another person that facing a similar situation couldn't do that? What are we missing here? How could I learn that? You should go and ask him.
It never occurred to me at the very beginning of my journey that I wanted to be a bodybuilder. You see, when I was younger, I was a bit on the chubbier side, right? Heavier side. And as a result of that, because I go to St. Michael's Institution, out of SMI, I was, all boys school, Kelly Brutal. So, Gemuk, Fechai, Hindu, all I've been called, all these every single adjective for fat. Now, of course, as men or boys, we want to show that we are hurt, by all these words, but truthfully, I felt hurt. And our way of answering or dealing with it is just by making fun of them back. But deep down inside, that's. So at that point, I was 16 at the time, I decided, hey, there are two people in this world. Those that cry and keep on crying, or those that cry to keep on moving forward. And I have no shame in saying that I am one of those people that cry to keep moving forward in my life. So, and from there, I started to lose the weight. In 3 months, I dropped about, I think it was a good 16 kilograms. I had no idea what I was doing. I just started jogging to school. My school is St. Michael's, my house is in Ipoh Garden East, and that's like 7-kilometer walk to school. Every single day I will wake up and walk. Because I got the idea from Rocky Balboa, right? We used to use montage where he wears the hoodie, I also wear the hoodie. And in the morning at 5 a.m. in the morning, I prepare my food and I just jog to school every single day. And I managed to lose the weight. And how that came about later on into bodybuilding is because I managed to lose all that weight, right? And from there, you become skinny and say, hey, you start to see all these people. At that time, it was Laza Angelov, Ulysses Jr. These are the people at that time that I looked up to when I was younger. And I said, wow, God, they have a body like that. And I started going to the gym. And that's pretty much how I just slowly fell in love. It's been 11 years and since I started going to the gym, and I still love going to the gym every single day.
Zaman sekolah memang dimaki lah, ejek oleh orang lain.
Yes, but even back then, there's no point in harboring the sort of hatred, anger towards them, because it's like poison. It poisons you. People live in your head rent-free, is what they always say. That means that if you allow these sort of things to hold you back, it's like chains. When you don't like somebody, you feel you want to take vengeance, probably that person doesn't even think about it. So all these people that made fun of me, eventually they did come back and they asked me for advice on how to lose the weight, or how to gain muscle, all this. And there's two things that you can do. Either one, you can ignore them, or B, you can be better. And I choose to be better. Not because I feel I'm superior to them, but this is what I believe is the right thing to do. Of course, in the beginning, it's very difficult. You're not used to it. Anything that's new in your life, I think there is sort of challenge and adjusting to it, right? And I've been doing this over a decade right now, going to this stage. So, of course, being someone that's only doing it for almost 10 years, you kind of get used to it. I'm more excited these days to be on the stage because it's usually 16 weeks of hard work that you have to put into the dieting and training, and there's a lot of sacrifice that comes with it. And I'm just happy to be on the stage. I'm electrified. When I go on the stage, I already believe I'm the winner. I believe that already I'm number one. Not because I'm arrogant, but I believe that's part of being your best. When you believe that you're your best, when you say and what you think becomes your reality. So let's say what happens if I get 4th place? Then I take that 4th place medal as if I won the 1st place. That's how my thinking pattern is. My thinking pattern is I never lose. I'm always victorious. On that night, I managed to sleep because I'm tired. And of course, there is a part of it, which is the dehydration part, which is very strenuous, you were saying, and you're doing it for the first time. Of course, it's going to be something you're not used to. But I still would say that I think for me, it's just a mixture of excitement and nervousness. I think since day one, I'm just excited to be on the stage. But of course, I was more nervous compared to where I am now versus my first time.
Saya menyesal melahirkan kamu.
Then you go outside of the norm of life. Everyone, if you come from an Asian background, you understand. People always want you to become a doctor, lawyer, or engineer. Almost Asian parents. Of course, when you tell your parents that you want to become a bodybuilder, it's not something that they're going to accept. And I knew that since day one. So what happening was I told my mom that I didn't want to continue my studies. I wanted to give my life to bodybuilding, essentially. And as a result of that, the words of frustration and the moment of time, out of frustration, she said, I wish you were never born. And the truth be told, it hurts. And I can still remember very vividly the words, how it cut through my heart. But even at the age of 16 or 17 at the time, there was an understanding in my heart. I knew that the journey that I'm going to go through, many people will not understand. Many people will not believe in me, but that's okay because this is a choice of life that I want to go through. And at that time, I remember I went up to my room after she said that. I cried and I cried. And I promised at that time, Mother, one day I will make you proud. It's been 11 years, and sorry to say, but she hasn't said that I'm proud. She's proud of me. When I asked her why you never say you're proud, because she said, I don't want you to be arrogant. But there's a conclusion to this story. This is something I always wanted to do. Before I bought a house, before I buy a car, before I spend any sort of big sum of money, I remembered I made that promise to myself. I must bring my family, bring my mother and father for a holiday overseas. And I managed to accomplish that right before the pandemic, actually, before the whole thing went down, COVID-19, right? So this was in 2020, and I brought my mom to dad for Bangkok for 5 days. We stayed in a really nice hotel, and we traveled along Bangkok, essentially speaking. And there was a night where it was just me and my mother, and we were walking in a mall, and it was very nice, very beautiful night. And out of nowhere, somebody said, I'm thinking some Chinese name. Thank you for bringing me and Papa on the holiday. It's such a simple line, right? There's no I love you, I'm proud of you. But you just know in that moment, that was the conclusion of that story. So that's all I have to say about that.
Angelina, nama pun ada malaikat nama dia. Mesti cantik jelita.
Yes. what I look for in my future partner would be, number one, that she would love God, more than she could ever love me. That she will always put God first in her life. Number two is, of course, loving her parents. I think that comes very important, because if you can't even love your own parents, how can you love me? And thirdly, that she will love herself also. Aside from that, I really have no expectations to like, oh, my wife can cook, or my wife must be a certain thing. Of course, we can't deny physical attraction, right? So I wouldn't say I have a type for that, but I would just say that I'm looking at the core values, because yes, beauty is one thing, but beauty fades away. You know, as I say, her looks are not going to raise your children also as well. Very good question, because I think anything worth doing in life is expensive. I think becoming a doctor is expensive. I think if you want to drive a nice car, it's expensive. So anything worthwhile in life is expensive. The question is whether you are having that sort of attitude where there's no excuses, right? So I always practice this, which is you need to grow in life with balance. What do you mean by that? I think bodybuilders are very good at growing physically. They grow bigger, right? And a lot of them have very strong mentalities. But I believe the other aspects of life that you need to grow in are also your spirituality, your relationship with God, your finance, your political. So these are also all important aspects of growth that we must be in. So in terms of finance, we're talking about finance now. It is important to understand that what you invest into your body, now how do you make money from that? So I'm spending money on the supplements, I'm spending money on the food and all this. So now I must understand how can I utilize my physique, the knowledge that I've gained, my passion in order to make an income from that. So of course I do things like personal training, I do things like online coaching, I do things like TikTok shop, or I sell things online. I have also sponsorships. So this is how I've been able, by the grace of God, to be able to afford doing this expensive sport. As a Christian, as a believer, my ultimate goal in life is to serve the will of God and to put my life for other people. And that's my main goal in life. As much as I love bodybuilding, right? As much as I enjoy bodybuilding, that is secondary to what I believe is in my faith. Of course, now let's talk about bodybuilding. Do I not have goals? Of course I have goals. I believe one day I'll be Mr Perak. I believe one day I'll be Mr Malaysia. I believe one day that I'll be an IFBB pro. This is something that I'm working on. It's my goals in my life. As well as now growing my team, which is house. Okay, what you see here today, the background right now in this place, this is my own gym. Again, thanks to God, I'm able to afford right now my own personal training center, which I conduct my business here in Ipoh. I've been able to train my clients here and also provide a home for my students, my boys, who I love very much. I hope at the end of the day to be able to be someone that's able to guide the new generation of bodybuilders, the new generation of young men and women out there, to have a direction in life. Because I think many people, they go about life and they don't really know what they want to do, or perhaps they don't know how to get to where they want to be. And I'm not only talking about bodybuilding. I believe that what we do in bodybuilding, the discipline, the goal setting, the belief system, if I take it and apply it to business or any sort of things I do in my life, I believe that I will be successful. And not only me, but anyone that applies it to their life. So these are my goals for the time being. The one I said again is to be serving God's will. Number two is to be able to get those recognition and titles in bodybuilding. And thirdly, of course, growing my bodybuilding team business. To those of you that are wanting to also try bodybuilding, deep bodybuilding, go. Know this, your ultimate competition is no one else. Your ultimate competition is always going to be yourself. You are going to be your own worst critic. And I'm telling you, insecurities, everyone has them. You will have the insecurities. You will think that I'm not big enough, I'm not good enough. And when you begin to compare yourselves to other people, true, we have to compare ourselves when we're talking about bodybuilding. But believe that the best version of you, and compare yourself to your best, to your previous version. Each time you go for a competition, every single year, try to beat yourself. And eventually, we'll get there day by day, week by week. And for those of you that want to get into this, also remember, don't just be a bodybuilder. You're more than just a bodybuilder. You have to develop other skills that are necessary in order for you to grow in the sport. Because I believe one of the biggest reasons why many people cannot go far in our sport is because of financial reasons. They soon come to realize after a certain stage that it's very expensive and there's not a lot of money in sport. So you cannot say to yourself that, oh, because of my finance, I cannot reach the Olympia. I cannot be an IFBB pro, right? Because of the money. So you have to be able to be financially sound. You have to be able to, again, get a return on your investment. You know, the money and time you put into your physique. So this is my advice for those of you that are watching, that are wanting to join bodybuilding. I just want to take this opportunity right now to shout out Nutrition Pro and AMX. They have been my sponsor for the past 6 years. For those of you that are looking for the highest quality supplements in Malaysia, make sure you go to nutritionpro.my. They have everything that you need in order to be a great bodybuilder. From protein powders, pre-workouts, multivitamins, everything we have over there. So what are you waiting for? Make sure you visit nutritionpro.my.
The main 3 key lessons that I learned from Jason.
Number 1. Number 2. Number 3.
Don't forget to subscribe and like this video.